rugby and the world of fantasy sports collide. Welcome to the Fantasy Ruckers Show, bringing fantasy rugby to the masses, talking all things rugby from the MLR to leagues around the world. We're on top of it. Headphones on, pads off. This is the Fantasy Ruckers Show. Now, here are your hosts, Ryan Yee, Matt Yee, and Devin Vanderpool.
What's up, everybody? This is a special edition of the Fantasy Ruckers Show, our second watch party of the year in MLR 2024 as we wait for kickoff of the New England Free Jacks taking on the DAL Jackals. With you here always on the Fantasy Ruckers Show, Ryan Yee, Matt Yee. Devin Vanderpool got called into work, so he will not be with us to start.
Don't they know? They should know that it is the New England Free Jacks versus the Dallas Jackals. They should have this on their calendars because this is going to be a good one, Ryan.
Yeah, it should be a very, very, very interesting one. And again, he will be joining us as soon as he gets back there. He said he should be here by half, but nonetheless, we're about 30 seconds away from the start of the broadcast here on the Rugby Network, where again, the New England Free Jacks are taking on the Dallas Jackals. Super exciting stuff, Maddie. Here with another watch party of the year. Should be good stuff. And this one comes at a interesting time because, man, our playoff race is heating up in our OG league. Playoffs starting next week. A lot of matchup results going to dictate who does make those top 6 spots to get in. And then for all of our league members, it is going to be the last week next week, and then semifinals in week 16 and finals in week 17. So should be pretty interesting here.
And for those of you who, I don't know, should I spoil the games from yesterday, Ryan?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time before the start of this broadcast. So let's start talking about what kind of went down yesterday in what was an exciting week 14.
Speaking of playoffs, Ryan, I mean, Houston SaberCats, first team to clinch playoff spot in the MLR playoffs. Good on them. I don't know if going into the season, I feel like we did have a good feeling that the Houston team was going to be very good. I don't know if we knew that they were going to be this good. I mean, we're watching a game today where we would have thought New England Free Jacks would be one of the ones clinching a playoff spot this early, but they've struggled.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely. I've struggled a little bit. Again, before we get any further into it, if you aren't already, follow us at the Fantasy Ruckers. We got our handles up above on the YouTube video, down below in the description. We got our Discord community, our website that you'll want to join. Matt is at Yee95, myself at Ryan J. Yee, Vandy at the Rucking Goat. But hey, should be exciting. Broadcast has just started. We got John Fitzpatrick of Rugby Morning in the house here in our comments section. Good to see you, Fitzy. We got an exciting. He's currently our number one top.
And I'm currently facing him in our league right now,
which is going to dictate if which one of you kind of is able to get that regular season league win here, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and me and Fitzy were talking earlier in the weekend. Was just kind of hoping that, you know, maybe the both of us get a nice little rematch of last year meeting up in the finals there. But yeah, Fitzy was very clear to me, and he's saying it in the comments, making it very clear to everybody else that he doesn't care about this win or loss. He doesn't care because his team is so good. Apparently, he's top of the table. Got to give him his flowers. But you know, it doesn't matter. Regular season doesn't matter. All that matters is the playoffs. And Ryan, you're having a bit of a nervous breakdown here, trying to get your team into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely a nervous breakdown is one way to put it. I'm facing Rugby Wrap Up, who is, I believe, one of the bottom teams in the league. I'm in that last playoff spot right now. And after the first round of matches here on Saturday, I'm only up by 20 points. And he has a whole bunch of Dallas Jackals players playing. I have DeWalt Kotza playing. He's got New England Free Jacks players playing. I got Martin Sigrin as one of my streamers of the week with Seta Baker out. So yeah, this one's going to come down to the wire. And this one match in particular is going to have a big implication on if I am going to make the fantasy MLR playoffs in my first season. So should be interesting. But yeah, Maddie, let's break down the matches that were happening yesterday. Again, if you're watching on YouTube here, second watch party of the year, New England Free Jacks, Dallas Jackals going to be kicking off here in any moment as we are in pre-game festivities right now. But Matt, let's talk about some of the games and matches that happened yesterday. We started off with Old Glory DC and Anthem Rugby Carolina, and that was a interesting match. I had that on while I was at work watching the match, and the Anthem coming out to one of their atypical, or I should say typical starts in that match, coming up with a quick 12 points there to take the lead. For all context purposes, I also did put a little bit of money on Anthem because this was the one match that I thought maybe they could come out with a win. Maddie, in our episode last week of the Fantasy Ruckers Show, you went all in and you predicted that they were going to win this one as well. But then after those 12 points, really, it was Old Glory DC that took it all the way there.
I mean, look, I was really optimistic after the first 12 points. I was really optimistic even after Old Glory DC tied it up going into the end of the first half. But we've seen this so many times from this Anthem side to where they kind of get up, or at least we've seen it in the past few games where they kind of get up early and then just aren't able to play the full 80 there. And Old Glory DC really just dominated that second half. I think for me, a big loss for Anthem was that Junior Gaffa injury because I mean, Gaffa was already having such a big impact in that game. I think a lot of the commentators were saying it in the stream as well, that Gaffa was just he was a big part of that first try with that big tackle on Jason Robertson. He scored the second try, and he was already, I mean, in 15 minutes, he had 40 something meters gained already. So it was wild. And he was a big part of that. But I don't know if Ryan, they're starting to put the lineups together here. I don't know if we want to start getting into this New England Free Jacks game before we go on any further on yesterday.
Yeah, let's talk about that starting forward pack for New England. We got Sakara, Quatrin, Jenkinson, Bailey, Keys, Fryer, Sigrin, and Davidovitz. Like I said, an interesting omission. An interesting omission of Seta Baker, who was on the injury list. And then for the backs for New England, we got Holden Youngert coming in, and to put it all in the line. Guess who I put and streamed in my lineup with Cam Nordley Kelametti not in the lineup this week?
Hey, damn right I'm putting in.
Damn right I'm putting in Holden Youngert because I've been talking about him being a pickup, and he gets the start, his first start of the season. We haven't seen him starting in a New England Free Jacks jersey for quite some time, so that's going to be interesting there. And then moving on to the Dallas Jackals, we got Murray, Kotza, Zeiss, Torres, Berg, Gomez, Vara, Foley, Tuifua, who I have in my Oval E lineup, which will be exciting there to see in that forward pack for the Jackals. And then Imhoff, Elias, Ben, Kubia, Richardson, Milanos, and Valentini for the Dallas Jackals back. So should be an interesting match. Again, a lot on the line here for New England for that Eastern Conference race, and the Dallas Jackals trying to lock themselves up in the playoffs here as we dwindle down in the MLR 2024 season. Let's give a shout out to Abel, who is watching as well. He wants New England to lose. If you're watching on the stream, hey, leave us a comment and we'll be sure to get you into the conversation. But they're just about to kick off here in New England. Should be a good match. But let's go on to the next matchup, Maddie, that happened yesterday. Nola Gold taking on the Houston SaberCats, and really dominant performance by Houston, and really not as many points as I thought, because they put up their first 21 that they finished off with there in the first half, only allowing the 7 points for Nola Gold, just scoring that one try there, I believe, in the second half. So again, Houston getting it done against Nola, and a huge Ed Fido injury.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this one pretty quick because they're about to kick off here. But yeah, just real messy from Nola. Real messy weather. Nola struggled here. Houston defense. This is the weather that they like to play in, and they'll dominate in these conditions. And it was perfect for the Houston SaberCats. But we're about to kick off here, and a nice little shot of old Reese Lightning in the back finally in the starting lineup.
Yep, Reese Lightning back in the starting lineup after being in the lineup last week. Got taken out last minute there to still tend to that injury that he sustained, but good to see him back in the lineup as well. Have him in my Oval E lineup too as we kick off here in New England versus the Dallas Jackals and the New England Free Jacks. Shout out to Stephen Lowen, who is also joining our stream here too. What's up, Steven? Community moderator for the Fantasy Ruckers. Talk
And
about
working at cat
dedication.
adoption
I know.
event.
That's what I was
Holy
going to
cow.
say. Talk about the dedication to be in this stream here while also
Saving the
working.
kittens.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
saving the kittens. That's what's happening.
So should be good here. Dallas has possession here. A big boot there by Elias, and New England with a counter there by Reese McDonald.
You know, I think something to watch here is that this Dallas team finally has, I think, their best back row grouping. Gomez Vara, Ronan Foley, and Tuifua back in. McKean Alicam is out now. I would have liked to see him come off the bench. That would have made him even better. But look, those three are going to be absolutely stellar against a back row that is hurting for the New England Free Jacks. You look at that compared to what they might have started the season with, it is just completely different, right?
And I mean,
Other than Seager.
Yeah, and I mean, like on the Dallas side, I mean, talk about a turnaround, because this was kind of a team that a lot of people joked about in terms of just not being great as New England causes the turnover there off of the maul that Dallas has, in a nice little boot to pin Dallas deep in their line in their own territory. And good run up there by Belicana, Quattro, and all the boys there. But yeah, I mean, Dallas has kind of looked a lot better, fighting for that playoff spot in the West. And yeah, New England dealing with a whole bunch of injury. Nice little return again, like we said, Reese McDonald. Potros was out for a week before this week, and then now he's obviously been a staple of that lineup, returning last week and playing again in this one.
Yeah, man. I mean, right now we're seeing a lot of that kick there. I think sets him up really well. Sets him up really well going forward, even though Dallas just got the penalty. But I think we're going to see a lot of that. New England just trying to pin Dallas in, make them turn around, and really be tactical about the way they play here today.
And Tuifua, guess who? Getting that breakdown steal, that jackal for the Jackals in that one. And as they're showing on the replay, Reese McDonald, that injury that he sustained when he was flying down to get that boot there, which is interesting, but we'll see.
You know what's crazy? You know what I found out from MLR stats jam delay is that apparently causing a penalty does not count as a breakdown steal.
Is that so?
That's what I found out. He was posting all the breakdown steals, and he said, by the way, this does not include those that cause a penalty. And I'm like, well, that's just a silly way to track breakdown steals.
Well, I mean, maybe then on maybe on our stats that we collect, maybe we should possibly change the format in terms of including, because I know the MLR tracks the breakdown stuff in a different category that does include steals. So maybe that's something to look for in the future.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to be interested to see how Holden Younger does here. I think Nordley Kelemeni has been doing a great job. And we'll really see, I guess, when New England Free Jacks start to get their offense going, starting to building some phase play. And we're going to really see kind of what he can do in this offense. We've seen him come off the bench, but starting is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's such a cheeky little kick from Wilson.
I know.
I saw there. I thought Reese was gone for a second, but it just wasn't to be. Now here's something to look for here. I really want to see whether New England can get their set piece going. I mean, last game they're ranked 11th or 12th in set piece. They got to convert on these chances against this Dallas side, because this Dallas side will punish you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
And we want to see Q score.
Yeah,
we always want to see Q.
Friend of the show. Well, always love to see that. That's for sure. That is for sure.
The other thing I think we really got to key in on here is just figuring out, how well New England can convert here in the red zone, because they need to score every opportunity they get. They just can't afford to miss these opportunities.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So in the 5 here, Holden Younger trying to scoop that ball, dishes it out quick to Potros, and Potros gets the score. So here, New England with 5 minutes into this match, are on the board early here to score a try. And hey, guess who got the try assist, Maddie? Guess who got the try assist?
All Potros. Or not all Potros. What is it? Younger.
Younger. There we
I
go.
mean,
Good streaming pick by myself, I got to say.
oh, I mean, yeah, I guess so. That's what you're looking for. That was kind of a gimme there, but I don't know how much Younger actually did other than just his job. But
Hey,
hey,
2 points is 2
that's what we
points.
need the 9 to do. The 9 has to do their job, and that's what we
Exactly.
need. Um, man, how many times? I feel like we've seen Potro score that way in the red zone so many times. Yes, he's just seen as this distributor constantly, and teams I just don't think sometimes forget that he knows when to take the ball in, even though he doesn't do it too often. He knows when he can take the ball into the line, and especially in that red zone. I feel like we've seen it so often.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. So let's get the score updated here on our stream. And the Free
That's
Jacks
a
are now
cool little feature there, Ryan.
no
I
that you
like
know
what you
what
did there.
I'm doing a little bit of work there. So the New England Free Jacks are up 7-0 now.
I don't like how you put the New England Free Jacks under me. Why under me? And why is the Dallas Jackals under you? I mean,
Well, I
other than
did
the fact that you're supposed to be the new Dallas Jackals in-house fan.
well, I got my scarf. I got my scarf under
I do
my
see that. I thought you were
uh,
gonna be wearing it during this game.
no, 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 no. I'm not at that point yet, but no, to be all neutral, it is home left, visiting team
Oh,
right.
okay.
But it just happened to work out
Okay.
that way. Pretty good. Pretty solid.
Neutral.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Whatever you say, buddy.
It is true. I try to be as neutral as it gets here. So pretty fast start by the New England Free Jacks, which is good to see on their side of things. Um, yeah, what are you seeing so far, Maddie, in terms of their dominant play?
Well, I mean, look, Dallas hasn't been in the New England Free Jacks half this game yet, and it started off with that kick in behind, that kick for territory. Yes, it turned into a Dallas penalty, but New England has gotten the turnover at the set piece, um, and they were able to kind of continue to put pressure, force Dallas to take a penalty, score a try not off the set piece, but off of kind of working off of that set piece. So it'll be interesting to see how Dallas responds here after that score.
And they have New England so far has dominated possession, as Dallas kind of has it right now. We'll see if they can bring anything over. But yeah, from a fantasy standpoint, though, again, Holden Younger getting that try assist, so a nice 2 points for me, and a nice little offload. Can't break through the line there though by Dallas. Um,
But
but
yeah, fantasy wise, you love to see that from Potros, right? Like you're so often to just getting the kicks from him and getting the conversions. And hey,
definitely
with
not
that score,
tackles
he
though,
does
right?
both. Definitely not tackles. He's allergic to tackling. We know that. We
So
said it on the show. It's on record. He's allergic to tackling.
and just to give context, the playoff race that is heating up right now. So myself, I'm up 39.6 to 12 against Rugby Wrap Up. Now, don't take that 12 as being too low here because he still has Damon Torres, Geronimo Gomez Vara, Cam Davidovitz, Taz Smith, Martin Elias, Michael Hand, and RFC Los Angeles playing. I have DeWalt Kotza, Sigrin, and Youngert playing for me. That Ed Vito injury really hurting. And then for you, Maddie, you're taking on who is our top league member. You're down by 6 points. You got Strang, Roloff Smith, Inciarte, and Marcos Young playing.
Yeah, I got
And
nobody in this game, but I know that Fitzy has Ronan Foley in here. So as long as he doesn't go off, we should be okay. And plus, Fitzy has been on record. He does not care. Oh my gosh, Vanderbank's a beast.
Vanderbank is a beast. One of our steals, I think, of the fantasy year in terms of trying to predict the center back line as Reese McDonald has it, gives it outside to Sigren, and the Free Jacks are
That's
back on the
Fryer.
attack here, or Fryer back on the attack.
I love like my favorite part of this My favorite part of this New England offense is when they play with layers. They just have the ability to play with so many layers and put the defense under so much pressure. It's one of my favorite things to watch. Um, and yeah, it's such a nice way to play offense and such a beautiful way to watch rugby
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. And
Like you
again,
look at this replay here, Ryan. I mean, you look at this replay here, right? Like this is a perfect example of it, right? Like Leroux Milan behind forwards, Potros coming behind, Reese McDonald coming behind out the back. And look how much space it just creates. It makes the defense just think so much.
Yeah, no, it does. And again, the benefactor of that being Wayne Vanderbank, who again, you thought it was going to be possibly Leroux Milan back from injury. You thought maybe it would be Ben Lesage being that piece there. Wayne Vanderbank kind of thought as the odd man out to begin the season, but he's definitely not the odd man out here. If you want to say odd man out, the highest fantasy point scorer from the center position for the New England Free Jacks so far. So again, a really big steal. Potros kicking it out of bounds with the penalty there. So the New England Free Jacks will have a line out at around the 10-meter mark in Dallas Jackals
12th in 2024 line out success, and they are continuing to go for it. This is what we talked about in our last episode, Ryan. We talked about this. We said they need to change the way that they play. They can't continue to look at this set piece as a weapon, and they can't continue to try and use it. It is going to kill their momentum. They are down here. They're putting pressure on. I hate to say this, and Ryan, you know how much I hate going for points, but New England just needs to go for points. Like, yes, it helped them with the first try. Totally get it. But they need to pick and choose. Like, they're right in front of the post there. I think they just need to just go for it, like go for points these times, because we saw the stat, they're 12th in line out in the league. They're the worst in line out success.
And they lost it there.
League.
And they lost
They
it
did.
there.
Yeah, and they did lose it there. So now it's inside the New England Free Jacks half.
And talk about confidence building for the Dallas Jackals, right? You stay within the one score, and you get that line out, that big time line out within your 10 as they commit another penalty in the New England Free Jacks side. So really, Dallas just committing errors right now that is keeping New England with the ball in possession. But again, to your point, Maddie, you have a guy like Potros who is pretty lethal from the tee, and you want to kind of just take advantage of that. And still, Dallas now 7-0 as we hit the 13-minute mark here in the Dallas Jackals for New England Free Jacks game.
Yeah, Dallas is going to have to find some continuity here, or else they're going to struggle. Whether that's handling errors, whether that's penalties, you can't be losing the territory game like this to a New England Free Jack side, especially this early. They're going to have to turn around and get some momentum quick.
So they got another line out here. Nice little quick insurance one, quadrant right to the front there, and a big time maul just outside the 22. So, I mean, if the line out's not working, why don't you just make it a little bit easier for yourself and just throw it to the front man there? And now New England is back on the attack. Messy play there.
I'll be interested to see how they use Vanderbank and Leroux Milan. I mean, I know they've had this lineup before, and honestly, Leroux Milan hasn't necessarily been that loud this year. But I was really surprised actually to see him starting over Ben Lesage. But I do expect Leroux Milan to kind of be a bit more involved. He already looks a bit more involved in this game.
So we'll see here again, 7-0, 13:35 into this match in favor of the New England Free Jacks. Potros, or I should say Holden Younger, it's not the same when he doesn't have those chops. He's got to bring that back.
I don't even recognize the guy. Honestly, like I struggle to even recognize the Holden and the Younger part of him without the chops.
So Dallas has a center scrum about 35-meter mark in their territory. They kick it away. Reese McDonald with the counter kick right back, a high one. We'll see how Dallas handles this. And it does quite well there. And Dallas has possession once again within their own territory.
And classic, the one time Potros does make a tackle, he does get a penalty. That's why he's allergic, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's allergic.
And there's an ad up here with a specialty jersey auction here on the broadcast as we kind of break here. What was your thoughts on the specialty jerseys this weekend? I did say on our show last week that I was interested to see how the NOLA gold jerseys would look on the field. And, I
wish we got to see it in sunlight, Ryan, but it did look good. It did look good. I wish we got to see some sunlight. I will say, you know what I hated the way that it looked, Ryan? I got to agree with you. That Utah one, I don't know, man. I don't like it. That orange just looked. It reminded me, I got flashback to Gilchrist on the field and just Austin. And I was like, and those football jerseys that the Austin Go-Groanies used to have, those awful things.
So line out by the Dallas Jackals is lost. And New England has it once again in their own half. They're moving it out wide.
Hey,
But
that's
really,
that's twice in that's twice in a row there. That's twice in a row. Dallas Jackals have muffed the line out after a penalty that they've gotten. Dallas needs to figure this out here. They're making far too many errors to be decided like New England.
so ever since that first try by Potros, assisted by Holden Younger, and I'm going to keep saying that as much as I can in this broadcast. It
Jeez.
really has been kind of messy play by both sides. Maybe it's like a curse because I feel like every single time that we get on these watch parties, the last one being what the Warriors versus San Diego, it was not
Yep.
a fun game to watch. And
It's
this one
just
outside of the
I'm
try,
starting to get concerned, Ryan. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned that somebody's out to get us. Somebody at the MLR is out to get us, and
yeah.
the scripts that they're writing for these just are not in our favor.
They're showing scrum success for the Free Jacks is ninth in the league, 87.1%. And again, that's just very uncharacteristic of the New England Free Jacks as Wayne Vanderbank offloaded to the outside, tries to get it to Reese McDonald there, but it is turned over. And Dallas, once again, kicking it deep into New England territory. And what a boot. Very good boot.
He would have liked that one to bounce forward, get a little bit more of a favorable bounce to get that 50-22, I believe. But bounce to the rugby ball. You never know.
There we go. Wayne Vanderbank offloading it to Mitch Wilson, who tries to get it back inside to Reese, but just not able to get that offload off. And we'll see here. But yeah, New England Free Jacks just outside their 22 have another line out. And again, you see the stat there if you're watching the game. 66% for the Free Jacks, 50% for the Dallas Jackals. Just not very good here to start off this match. But they do win this one, and Holden Younger gets it outside. And we'll see what New England is able to do in this possession. So in terms of fantasy assets here in this match, I mean, New England and Dallas, you can argue in terms of the actual play on the field, but when it comes to fantasy performances, there's no shortage of guys that you like to have on either of these teams here this
Yeah,
fantasy season.
100%.
I
I mean, you just look at the back line for the New England Free Jacks. You would have almost anybody in that back line outside of Balacana. Um,
mean,
like you would really enjoy having anyone there. And then you look at this Dallas forward pack. I mean, that back row room, again, I'm going to talk about it again. Like Gomez Vara, the last time that he started was just
oh,
ridiculous. What a take.
what a take there. Dallas
And
Jackals with
that's
the
why you
high
don't
up
want
and under. Yeah, he's been a disappointment for this fantasy season. Now Dallas, probably with their biggest threat of the game, they got a penalty about 7 meters in the New England Free Jacks 22. Big decision here, whether they go for the boot. My guess is they're probably going to kick it to the sideline and try to use that set piece that has been somewhat successful for them. But what a take. What a take there. Elias kicking it high up and under. Taken by Mitch Richardson, I believe. I want to get that
Nope.
correct. No, 14.
I believe that is Milanos, but I could be completely wrong.
Well, why don't we check? Why don't we check out? Why don't we check out the Discord community that has all the starting lineups again? If you want to follow that, Big Sus here offload to Dwal Kotza out to the outside and a try by the Dallas Jackals. Line out at the 5 meter, a little nifty play where they do the
What a
fake
set
maul,
piece play.
pop it out to
It's a double.
Kotza.
It's a that had inception written all over it, Ryan. We had a fake maul dropping it down to another fake maul, and then right to Kotza to pass it to a crashing in 12. I mean, I love set piece. I love set piece plays, Ryan, especially anything off of a line out. I mean, look at that. Fake maul, Kotza out the back. I believe that's Kubia coming in. And
Could be a scoring the try there for the Dallas Jackals. They now pull within 2. We'll see what Elias is able to do here on the kick.
And while we're waiting for this kick, we got a shout out to the gain line. He seems to be happy that Dallas scored, and we'll also say what's up. Abel's also happy that actually Abel was responding to Steven, but I'm sure Abel's also happy that Dallas has just evened up the game, even though they didn't show Martin Elias kicking. That's a good way to broadcast a game. I'd love to see Kubia drinking water rather than watching Martin Elias go for the conversion. Oh, perfect. And then we go right to a thorn. This
And I
is
know,
this is beautiful. This is beautiful broadcasting, ladies and gentlemen. I can't get enough of it. Can't you tell I love it?
and it's funny because that has been one of the hot talking points into this live stream. People love your reaction and your love for this water break. So it
Well,
is interesting.
look, we got Augsburger doing dips on an Arctic cooler, people. Like, what are we doing? What are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, let's give a shout
Anyways,
out to let's give a shout out to the gain line. Welcome into the live stream here. We like to put these watch parties on every once in a while because when we like to watch the game on mute because sometimes don't always favor the commentating that happens in the MLR. You can put this on the audio, have this game up, and then hear a little bit of the Yee brothers talking about the game in the perspective of fantasy MLR.
except today, Ryan, they got the A team in for this game today.
They do.
Uh, they got the A team. Uh, if, you can have both of us talking at the same time if you want to listen to both of us, but you'll hear a bit more formal commentating out of them and a lot less formal commentating out of us. That's for sure.
Yeah. Will Hooley and
Look,
Marskabina.
yeah, yeah, bunch of legends. Well, not Hooley. I think it's who's the usual play by play that does most of the big games for MLR. Hooley
Oh,
does the color, but
that's right.
Mark
That's right.
Scabina is doing the color here.
That is right.
Actually, I haven't seen Hooley do a game. I feel like I haven't heard him do a game in a while. I wonder if he'll do tonight's game.
All right. So we just passed the water break. 20 minutes into this week 14 match between the New England Free Jacks and Dallas Jackals, tied up at 7. So I think already, Matt, we've had more tries in this game than we've had in the Utah Warriors San Diego Legion game that we watched way back when for our first watch party. And we should have ourselves a nice little back and forth affair here as the New England Free Jacks have a scrum in Dallas Jackals territory.
Yeah, we talked about this so much when I used to play, and it was always the kickoff right after you score is one of the most important kickoffs to take. Like it either determines whether you're going to build momentum or whether you're going to kill it. And Dallas, with that knock on and leading into a scrum, has killed their own momentum and given New England Free Jacks a lot to play for here.
So we'll see as the Free Jacks have possession. Holden Youngert at the breakdown, dishing it off. And we got a penalty call or a knock-on call here.
Yeah, Ryan, this is really testing you. Hey, no sound. And
no sound. Can I do better play-by-play? Major League Rugby. This is my real.
The only issue is that you're subject to the camera work here. So if they want to show Reese McDonald running back versus the actual play, then yeah. We got a question from just as they're doing the scrum here, Ryan. Question from the game line. Do you mind whose English accent? What about newer fans? I'll be honest, I think I'm biased. When I hear a non-American accent commenting rugby, I just instantly think it's 10% more credible.
Yeah,
And I
exactly. I was just
believe
gonna
more
say
what
that's
they're
the word.
saying. But that's only because I'm so used to watching rugby commentating with an accent. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just biased. I think that's just me. So I don't mind it. I actually think Will Hooley's done a great job this year in terms of the content of what he's been saying and the way that he's actually explained the game. So yeah, game line, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, credibility, I think, is the one way to put it. But I mean, it's a nice mix. I think the Major League Rugby has. A lot of the play-by-play guys don't have that English accent, which I think American fans may appease to. Maybe that's the perfect mix. You have an American doing the play-by-play and an English guy or a foreign guy doing the color, which adds that credibility, like you said. So booted it out of territory for the Dallas Jackals. So the New England Free Jacks have a line out in the Dallas half at the 10-meter line.
New England not taking any risk here. They're taking what they can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abel, it is the same as soccer. I've never watched an MLS game on TV. So I don't know what it's like with MLS, but I can imagine that they potentially throw in an English guy or a foreign guy in there from time to time. In
And
the
I
URC,
mean,
people generally prefer their own country's accent for their games. Yeah, that's fair enough. And I mean, to be fair, when you look at overseas, like people watching in New Zealand when they're watching Super Rugby, when it's a home game for New Zealand, for one of the New Zealand teams, it is the Sky Sports New Zealand team that's usually in there. Jason Marshall's usually the play by play. And same thing in Australia when you got oh, I forget his name, but when you got the Australian guys commenting for what, like Stan Sport or something like that for the whenever an Australian team's playing.
all right, so Sigrin takes it
And
into contact.
yeah,
New England move in.
say mind you, Hooley is American technically.
I mean, next point here is pretty big. I feel like it's a
Next
pretty
point
even
is going to be big. But here's the thing, like, oh, that's forward. What's it called? Here's the thing. New England Free Jacks are still dominating this game. Dallas has gotten the one opportunity off of mistakes made by New England in terms of penalties, and obviously the great take on the high ball. But New England Free Jacks have came back. I told you right after the kickoff, they got the knock on. Yes, they conceded. They allowed Dallas to exit, but they're right back at it. They still got the ball, still putting pressure within the Dallas half. Uh, I think New England's going to be the one to get the next points here. I hope that if they get a penalty inside any kicking distance, that they take it because they got to start with some momentum, and it's always easier playing with a lead, especially even if it's 3 or whether it's 5 or whether it's 7. I think what the next choice here is they got to kick for points, take that when they can, and then do it again and kind of run down the field off the kickoff.
And when do we start getting concerned, Maddie? Because the penalties have been an issue for New England. The broadcast saying that they're fourth in the league, committing about 11 per match, and they're up at 4 already to Dallas's 2. And really, that's giving Dallas an opportunity here to stay within the game so far, despite all the possession and dominance right now by New England.
I mean, Dallas's try was right off of a lineout that came from a penalty. So yeah, um, definitely rough. I don't think it's nothing to be concerned about yet. Uh, like especially in this game, like I think they're doing fine in this game. I think they're still able to put pressure on. I think they've gotten a bit lucky here with Dallas's inability to execute when it comes to the play.
As they commit another bent arm penalty.
Yeah, yeah. So a free kick, scrum penalty. So yeah, Elias is just gonna throw this one up there, get some 5 seconds, 5 second hang time under this bad boy. And Potros is hopefully I thought that was gonna be a penalty.
And do we gotta talk about the hair that is of Murray? I mean, that I know rugby has a lot of interesting
Well,
hairstyles,
look,
but Murray's got that back head mullet with the shaved top head.
I think what he's realized is that he's not growing anything up top, even if he tried. All right. He's not, he doesn't have the locks of Quatrin. Um,
Oh,
so
what
he
a
doesn't have
take
the
by
locks
Wilson.
of Sakara, right? He is just he's just doing with what he's got. And if all you've got is just a nice little mullet out the back of your skull, then that's all you can do. It does look extremely dirty, though. Oh my goodness.
I mean, what talk about the number ones. You got Kyle Sakara on the one side with probably the dirtiest mullet in the entire league. And then you got Liam Murray on the other side with the
I think
half
what
mullet.
Murray's
I don't even know
hoping
what
is
to call
that some of the hair in the scrum, even though they're not going against each other, but somehow the hair makes it over to his head,
it.
and he can maybe get some of that on the top of his head. But look, uh, we can't bash baldness here. It is a part of life, and it makes you even
Vandy.
look
I mean, we
cooler.
have a part of this show. Vandy deals with it on
He
the daily
does,
basis.
and
Maybe
his
he
head is
needs to
shiny.
grow out the
His head
hair
is
like
shiny and beautiful.
all right. Scrum for New England within Dallas territory. And they got it to wheel around. So they're gonna reset here and go again.
I think I would love to see the refs just let these play on a little bit more. Like, you see the ball at the back there. I don't know if Youngert knocked it on. I didn't see a knock on. I thought it was off some feet. But like sometimes with the penalties, sometimes with the resets, they're just not like the ball's available and they don't let them play. And I would love to see them just let them play because at the end of the day, I don't want to see a reset.
Mm.
I don't want to see us come back for or go straight to a penalty. I want to see the guys be able to play with an advantage or be able to play a little bit with the ball or have the ball in hand. Like these are resets and restarts in a way, and I want to get out of these restarts as quick as possible. And
And
I
penalty
mean,
for Dallas. I mean, just so uncharacteristic, at least in seasons past. Um,
yeah, and I'm not going to attempt
New
to
England.
explain the scrum here, but when you see one of the props of one of the teams lying face first down in the ground and his body completely flat, they're probably going to get a penalty called on them. That means they've been absolutely dominated in this scrum.
Yeah. I got a question from the game line. What's your favorite kit in the MLR? We did have a show where we ranked each of the kits, and I think
Game line.
as the
I was
season
just
has
saying,
gone
game line.
on,
Remember that Ryan is a technically a Dallas fan here, so I think we know what
but
his answer might be.
no, because I actually Dallas does have very nice kits. Always been. We know what my affinity to callers has been.
Yes.
And New England does have that. I've always liked New England's jerseys. Dallas is a little bit different. I do like it. I love the Chicago Hounds jerseys. I got to say, the Houston SaberCats jerseys, I mean, have looked pretty solid this season.
Yeah, they have looked good. They have looked very good. I'm looking forward to when they do their city jersey, but in terms of just normal kit, I forget what I ranked first. Maybe my ranking has changed. So I feel like I had Seattle up there. I definitely had Seattle up there. I feel like I thought the Dallas Stars just reminded me of the old Dallas Stars jerseys, and I love that. If you're not familiar, Dallas Stars are an NHL team, hockey team.
We know
But
that our least favorite jersey, though, in the league has got to be
oh,
Miami, though.
oh, a little bit too early. You all,
Mitch
well,
Richardson has
m-
it.
mine's those LA Richards over there. So
Biggest attack here by Dallas, as they're doing well to hold on to possession. Imha passing it out to Kotza. Love to see a Kotza big time try there. Already has the try assist.
I think something to really watch here is just how quick the ball is for Dallas. We've seen them be very lethal when they have very quick ball. Um, so this is something to watch. I think their success really relies on them being able to recycle that ball quickly.
And they're about 15 meters out from the try line. Imhoff giving it out to Torres. And it looks like we're going to bring it back as there was going to be a breakdown steal. Possibly a penalty coming up, but there's going to be a penalty in favor of Dallas right in front of the post. I'm saying you take points here, right? You have to take
Yeah.
points. Get the
Oh, that's what I
lead.
was saying. I think they have to. If they're really cheeky, they go for a little center scrum, but that wouldn't be the smart thing to do here. And you can see that the coach was just sending out the tee, so that the captain didn't even need to make a decision.
So Dallas Jackals going to try to take the lead here. Elias going to go for the kick right in front of the post. This is all but a sure thing here to put Dallas up by 3. And this is important. Again, I think the next points there. We've gone, about 10 minutes without any points scored here so far. Tied at 7 with 32 minutes into this first half, and he puts it right through the post, Martin Elias, which is not good for me because Rugby Wrap Up has Elias at the starting 10, but I do have a bet down on the Dallas Jackals. So it's a win-win
And
situation, Maddie.
hey, that is, we do love our win-wins. I'm gonna bring this up again. Couple things here, couple things to note. 8 minutes left or 7 minutes left in the first half. This is gonna be a big 7 minutes on who finishes a half off strong. This is also a big restart to see who gets this together. Can Dallas get it together? And it looks like they have and secured possession of the ball.
Beautiful take there by Dallas with the lift there. Lucas Burr getting it. And
I like that
a
decision.
quick box kick by Imhoff. And we'll see what Reese McDonald can do with it here.
Yeah, like
It's a nice little goose step by
I,
Patros.
yeah. Well, he's got that in his bag, but I don't like that decision. Like it's that box kick was non-contestable. You couldn't get a good chase going. Uh, you couldn't really get your team ready to chase, and now you've given the ball right back to New England Free Jacks, who have already dominated possession in this half.
A panic move there, you know, the ball squeaks out
At
of the
least
breakdown.
visually. Well,
Ball
see,
squeaks out of the breakdown.
just as I say that New England has dominated possession, MLR stats throws up that Dallas has actually been more in possession, but it feels like New England Free Jacks with that territory advantage has had more possession in this game, and that's forward for sure.
I will say that I think New England has been in the half of Dallas longer than Dallas has been in the half of New England.
And we see
So,
that with
right.
the territory percentage there.
So there are about 5 minutes left remaining in this first half. Dallas leading 10-7. This is back-to-back weeks where Dallas has surprisingly played pretty well defensively. But a lot of the talk has been about their offense. I mean, you see the graphic up there if you're watching the broadcast. Tries per game, first in the league at 4.5. First in the league when they're scoring percentage inside the 22. 30.8%.
Which is interesting because I have to imagine that New England Free Jacks have one of the best defensive percentages inside their own 22.
Right.
At least one of the best percentages, probably up there with Houston. And you saw that with the tackles. I mean, they're second in the league in tackle percentage. So defensively, we know this New England Free Jacks team is lethal, and we've seen them shut out teams in the past. So I mean, it's a powerful offense going against what should be a powerful defense.
So they're going to set up for another scrum here, just inside Dallas territory. New England ball. Just over 5 minutes left to play in the first half. 10-7 in favor of Dallas after the Martin Elias kick right in front of the post. And they're going to go with a little 8 pickup play here off the scrum.
I think Younger got lost there.
That looked like it's supposed to be an 8-9, right?
Yeah, I think Younger got a little lost there. But hey, that'll happen. That'll happen. He's missing his chops. He doesn't feel like himself.
Ooh, penalty. Oh, quick tap by Holden Younger. Like that. Some meters gained.
Fantasy wise, yeah, you love that.
Not the smartest play. Would you have gone for the kick there?
Well, no, I think they were a bit too far out anyways. I think they probably would have had to go for touch. Yeah, I think they might have liked to have gone for touch there, but hey, look, I don't know if you can blame anybody for for taking a quick tap when it's
What a
there.
stat.
I think, you end up here, luckily, where you still have Dallas pinned. You could still get the ball in their half, and they probably will off of a clearing lineup or a clearing kick, turning into a lineup. Oh, never mind. Like this is what Potros does so well. Like he finds the space, and the team around him, and he knows that their defensive around him can put pressure on the teams and cause turnovers and cause pressure on the team. Like that's what Potros does really well. And he's such a perfect complement to their defense because of the way that he kicks. When he finds territory, when he finds grass, it really helps out this New England Free Jack squad. Let's see
So
if they can convert here.
probably the biggest scoring opportunity here as a little front to Kyle Sakara and into the try zone. Is it held up?
They're going to go upstairs.
They're going to go upstairs, and it looks like it was a little bit of an offload from Sakara to Sigren.
And they've just given up going for the lift. They've decided that they're going to take what they can get off the front, and Dallas has decided that they're just going to keep giving it to them. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Dallas is going to have to look at that at half and say, and say, "Hey, we gotta stop this so that we can start shutting down their lineup."
So referees had a
That's too easy.
discussion.
That's too easy.
Referees had a discussion. It looks like they're going with the held up call, but they're going back to the advantage for New England, and it'll be a scrum for New England on the 5. We'll see what happened
No idea
here.
what that advantage was for.
Double move, maybe? No, but that would have been
No,
a
because that
penalty.
would have been a penalty for Dallas.
It definitely
Held
didn't
up would
cross
have
the
been a
line.
goal line. Held up would have been goal line 22. I'm assuming they're going up to check now the grounding.
I don't think it passed the try line. Unless, see, but now this is the thing, right? So the fact that
I think it passed and then it got brought back. I don't know whether there was any grounding though.
But it's interesting though that they are going back. But someone must have said something. I mean, they were just about to set up for the scrum. And we're having the
I mean, I don't know
PMO
what
review.
I don't know what the heck the scrum was for. No clue. See, I mean, this is where we're just trying to guess here without any sound on our end.
Yeah.
If anybody is watching the game with sound along with us, maybe you can tell us what the heck that scrum was for.
So we got a Sakara offload to Sigrin. Sigrin driving through. And what a battle there. Sigrin and Tuifua. And Sigrin.
I think you're right.
Right? Like, I don't think it ever passed the try line.
I think the only thing that maybe Sigrin's talking about is that potentially the nose of the ball touched the line. Look, it's on-field decision, no try, which means that there needs to be clear and obvious evidence that there was actually grounding, which it looks like by the way that Rogan is pointing and gesturing, is that there was no clear and obvious grounding there, so they don't have enough to overturn the try.
So we
Or
go back
call
to
on the field.
square one. Scrum on the 5 for New England. Abel asked what you guys think of TMO. We've had this conversation on our show before. I think right now, and Matt, you can fill in here quickly, is that I just think it's really clunky right now. They've used it a lot, which sometimes can halt the kind of momentum of the game in terms of as a fan experience. But I mean, I've always said that
It needs to be done right. You need to have guidelines around it. There needs to be limits of how much it can be used, because you're right, Ryan.
So Holden Younger gets it out. Reese McDonald, a big pass to Balikana. He gets the loose ball. He's driving forward and it's intercepted, but his foot did step out. So Balikana picking up the loose ball with Reese McDonald trying to throw it out wide, not able to do that successfully, and it leads to
Reese
a Dallas
McDonald
Jackals
needs
lineout. I mean, that was a sure try.
Accuracy. Yeah,
That
I
was
mean, he needs a lot more accuracy there, right? Like,
I mean, give credit.
I
I
mean,
missed
what worked by Kabia, but
There we go.
Reese
That's what I was gonna
McDonald
say.
needed to be a lot more accurate there. These are the types of our opportunities that we're talking about. Like they're missing out on these opportunities that should have been a try. Great work by Dallas to get back and work across, but
not a great kick by Elias. Can't find touch. So Putros has some space here, weaving in and out. Just huffs it out to Reese. Offloads it to Quatrin, and now New England is right back on the attack after another mistake by the Dallas Jackals.
Yeah, common theme that we're seeing constantly. But I think Dallas at this point, they just want to make it out of the first half. Oh my gosh.
So Holden Younger scoring the try. What did I tell you, Maddie? Stream this guy because he's going to do well for you in the start.
It's coming back. It's coming back, Ryan. They're gonna go check it upstairs. I think it's coming back.
For what? Give it to him.
I think there was obstruction there. Anyway, speaking of this,
give it to
Ryan,
Holden. I want to stick on this. No. I don't want to hear from it. I want to Holden. Score it.
Yeah, that is so much obstruction.
Sakara was just standing there.
Look, they didn't even have to check anymore. They're already coming back. That was actually ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, look, this is like I think TMO has its case in the game. If they went up there, like, that's the perfect time where TMO can give you a quick check. They obviously didn't need to go fully upstairs, for that one because of how obviously Sakara was obstructing when Younger ran by, and that's the only time that Younger can make a line break here. Um, but
I
yeah,
hope
I
he
think
makes
TMO
the
just they
eject
just have to
work.
figure out how to use it. They have to figure out how to use it in the most
And
efficient
that's
way. They need to make sure that people are not calling on their cell phone to talk to
that's
the
the
ref.
other
Like,
thing.
that
Yep.
should never be a thing. Um, so yeah, they just need to kind of figure that out and
And I
really figure
think
out how. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
and I think that's the thing here is that my point being with the clunkiness, right? It's just not quick. It should be fast. Like, we should be able to go upstairs, check it. No, and we don't need always the full production in terms of showing the camera the TMO of him checking it. You know what I mean? Like, just go there. So Dallas has the line out. They're
Yeah,
mulling through, looking good.
yeah, and I was
A
gonna
little
say,
kick outside.
Dallas just needs to kick it out, go into the half, go into the half with the lead, and just regroup because I think they're feeling pretty good the fact that they're up 3.
All right. So 10-7, early try by Potros, a response at the 20th minute by Kubia, and a penalty kick by Elias right in front of the post has the Jackals up 10-7 going into half with 40 minutes left to play. Yeah, I don't know what the curse is, but it does seem like we always pick the low scoring affairs when it comes to our watch parties. But I will say, much more entertaining match than the Utah Warriors San Diego Legion. At least a lot more clean in terms of the back
Well,
and forth. Dallas could probably argue that they need to probably clean some stuff up, and they would be in a much better position. But I mean, hey, 10-7, Dallas, like you said, Maddie, happy with where they're at here right now going into half.
Brian, I wonder if we need to use this curse to our advantage here. You know, if there's a lot of guys playing in a game that the other team that we're facing in fantasy has, maybe we throw up a live stream and we try and really reduce the scoring on there so it's not high enough.
There you
If we
go.
know that we've got a lot of players that are on one of the games, hey, maybe we stay away from that one. We got to
There you
use this
go.
to our advantage a little bit, I think.
And let's use this opportunity as well as we've seen no shortage of them. Another Overly advertisement on the broadcast. We'll give a shout out to our partnership with Overly, where they have challenged us to give their platform a try. And we had a live stream earlier this week where we purchased our very first Oval E cards, made our lineups. In this match, I got Tuifua playing and Kotsa and Reese McDonald. The other guys that I
Well,
had
not
in there,
Coates. Coates
Terangatira.
is not your Coates is not in here.
Coates is not in here.
Lineup, but not in this game.
What do you mean Coates is not in this game?
Coates is definitely not in this. Oh,
Coates,
DeWalt Coates. I was thinking
DeWalt,
Davy Coates.
not Coatser. Coatsa. No,
Whatever.
had Coatsa in there. Had Terangatira Waitokia. He scored a try in the match in garbage time, which was good. And we'll see here. The Ed Fido injury, though. He played about 18 seconds before he got hurt. So that
Yeah,
one's tough. Anyone
that
that
is
you
a
have in
tough one.
this one, Matt?
In this game, I think I've got Mitchie Wilson. I know I've got in my limited lineup game, I guess. The MLR limited game with the
I think they
cards. I've
call it
got
tournament.
sure. That tournament. Mitchie Wilson, I got Q. I believe that's it I got for this one. I had to make some last minute decisions with Mo, my top guy, being out of the lineup, and Chicago obviously being on bye with having Oxberger. So I believe I've got Philemone, Mitch Wilson, Quatrin, Luataro Bavo. Nope. Jamma Fanana Schultz. I had. I believe I can't remember who I have at half, but I have somebody. And then in the free to play, I got Vaca, who unfortunately got hurt in that game. I don't think I have anybody in this game, which would be kind of interesting. But yeah, I think I got Vaca, Kunatani. I feel like I had Kotzer. Um, and yeah, I'm blanking on who all the lineups guys. There's so many lineups, Ryan, that we have.
I know
Weekly challenge.
we
We
got
got the
weekly
Fantasy
trial
Ruckers
TFR
League.
TFR Weekly Challenge. We got the Fantasy Ruckers League that we're playing in. Now we got 2 Oval League lineups, the limited tournament and the free-to-play tournament. But that's what we love to do, Maddie. We love to just do everything fantasy. That's what we do here on the Fantasy Ruckers. So if you love fantasy rugby, fantasy MLR, making it a reality, it's been our tagline since we started this thing. It's been going well. You're in the right place. Just as they flash the jerseys, one I think low key jersey that I really do like, which I think looks better when you're up close versus on the broadcast, but still nonetheless really good. I do got to admit I like the Old Glory DC jerseys as well. I do like the kind of homage to the state capitol and the Lincoln Memorial as well. So that's pretty cool. And I have a strong affinity towards this cherry blossom jersey that they have. I think it's really cool. So that's another one that I'd throw up there. But let's take the opportunity, Maddie, since we're in the halftime break here. We got through the first 2 games. We had obviously a big Old Glory DC win over the Anthem Rugby Carolina squad. We had a Houston SaberCats dominant win over the NOLA Gold. One match left over in Saturday was the Utah Warriors and San Diego Legion. Was probably the most exciting one that we've had up to date so far. Tied up until the final minutes, and San Diego scoring a late game-winning try to steal it. I'd love to get Vandy's thoughts on that match, but what a heartbreaker.
What a heartbreak for Utah. I mean, it was a game for Utah Nines, right? I think Kieran McLeod with 2, Zion Going with 1. Zion Going, I think, moves out to center. I think possibly gets hurt. But yeah, what a game. I mean, it sucks that it's at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night, way past my bedtime. But yeah, what an absolute game. And the most exciting one, I would say, on the day, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Just like you said.
And you mentioned, Maddie, that it has.
I mean, also, sorry, they didn't deserve to win with those jerseys anyway. So
yeah, I will say though as well, it has been, like you mentioned, a week of 9s scoring, which is going to be interesting to see how the matchups kind of play out, because we had, like you mentioned, Kieran McLeod, we had
Kieran McLeod with
Connor
a double,
Tupai,
Zion Going with 1,
Zion
Tupai
Going
with 1, Andre Warner
and then
with 1.
Even and then we had COC Nye with the massive performance
Buckley,
there as well. Buckley,
COC Nye with 2, Buckley with 1. Inciarte is going to get a bunch.
It's interesting. It's interesting too, Maddie, because we also just talked about kind of like positions that aren't necessarily that fantasy productive, and it seems like this week it's kind of been the opposite, where we had those 9 scoring tries, and then you go to the front row position. We had Stephen Longwell score a hat trick of tries in the first match there for Old Glory DC against the Anthem, which is I don't know how many people had Stephen Longwell in their lineup. It would have been a week winning play if you did, but I mean, 3 tries by front rower, not something you see too often. All of them too, not on the set piece. So
yeah, wild. I mean, that's what you expect from a prop, to not score on the set piece, but yeah, he had a game, that's for sure. And they showed videos of him, or footage of him laughing at half on the bench. I'd be pretty happy too if I was a big man scoring 3 tries. And we know how much Vandy loves the big men scoring tries.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Well, again, 10-7 in the halftime break between the Free Jacks and Jackals. Free Jacks in the lead right now. As I see it, at least my fantasy squad is holding in there as much as possible. It's always tough though to track in terms of like the meters gained and the tackle sometimes. But I think so far we've been okay. That Younger try and the called off Younger try and the called off Sigurn try are going to be 2 things that I'm going to point to if I end up not qualifying for playoffs, because
well, Ryan, I didn't know you wanted to
I agree
win.
with.
I was just gonna say, I didn't know you wanted to win off of cheating tries.
That's not what I said. I'm just saying, I don't think that was obstruction by Sakara. He was just standing there, you know.
Sorry, he backed up his big booty right into the guy trying to make the tackle. I don't know what else could be called obstruction.
Hey, to each his own. To each his own. A little bit of bias there. It was definitely an obstruction, but I'd like to think different.
What a try. I don't know if you saw, Ryan, if you're watching the replay of the Andre Warner try, but what a try.
I know. Not often that a 9 gets a blocked kick there. And again, they're showing the NOLA Gold jerseys. I do like them. I
Yeah,
do think
last
they're
time I blocked a
successful.
kick, I broke my hand, so I'd never blocked a kick again.
That is true. I do remember being at that match where that
By the way,
happened,
that
and
was like 10 years ago,
yeah.
and I never did it again. I had like 7 years left on my rugby career, and I decided I would never try to block a kick again. I would just make it look like I was trying really hard.
Did cause you a lot of surgical problems though, huh? For the rest of your rugby career with that big lump on your hand after the broken hand. You got
It did give me a big cyst on my hand, but that's only because I was insisting on playing video games with that hand even though it was broken. The cast only did 3 fingers, so I had these 2 to still hit the analog stick and the triggers, and, I'm pretty sure that's what did it in.
That's funny. A self-diagnosed video game injury, I guess,
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But yeah, just halftime running through the highlights of the matches so far. Been a pretty exciting weekend of rugby here that has a lot of
Oh,
implication on fantasy MLR. Got the
yeah.
47-29 victory over the Anthem by Old Glory DC, 21-7 victory for Houston over NOLA. And then again, that game that we just talked about, the 27-20 victory for San Diego over Utah. Dallas up 10-7 here at half in that match. And then we got the Miami versus RFC Los Angeles game. That should be an interesting one here later this Sunday. And they're throwing up the standings here again. It's coming down to the wire. The NOLA Gold loss helps New England out a lot. And you
And it
know,
would have been crazy to see Nola Gold at the top of the table, though.
it would have been crazy because again, they're
That
they're
would have been absolutely nuts.
they're a team that
I,
has had a whole bunch of mirages.
yeah, Dallas needs this one, especially with the San Diego win against Utah last night. Dallas needs this one. Um, and New England doesn't need it as much. They're going to stay at the top of the table regardless of what their result is today in the Eastern Conference. But Dallas needs this win, and they should be playing as such. So we'll see how they come out in the half. Ryan, I guess while we're here, while we got some time, maybe let's talk about the next game coming up later tonight. Um, LA RFC or RFCLA, whatever the heck you want to call them, versus Miami Sharks. I think LA has got their stupid LA Lakers jersey on, and Miami may or may not. I don't think they actually do have their city jerseys on. Um, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Should be an interesting one. All context in, I predicted an RFC LA win. Maddie, I think you and Vandy both predicted Sharks wins. The
Yep.
Sharks have been coming back in terms of performance as of late, coming from some big time wins there. I have put money down on RFC LA because they are the underdog heading into this one. Um, I think I think it's actually going to be an interesting match because I think there are going to be a decent amount of points scored in this one. I think it'll be cool to see kind of the back three matchups between the two squads. Obviously, on Miami, you got Echeverry, you got Marcos Young in there. And then on the RFCLA side, you got our friend of the show, Andrew Coe. Stokes is back at that fullback position. So I mean, it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a fun one to watch to wrap up this week 14.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good. I mean, there's a lot in play for both of them. I mean, both of them are not going to make the playoffs. I don't think, at least from my view of the standings. But I think they're both here playing for a lot of pride. Like they're both newcomers to the league. Who ends up finishing higher on with a better record, I think matters to them. Um, and Miami, I mean, they're going to be looking for a big win to continue that momentum. It's interesting. You look at their lineup. I mean, Manuel Ardejo, something to watch. He got suspended for
Mm-hmm.
repeated yellow cards. Um, so he's a big part of that back row. So we'll see how that works out. Um, there's a few guys that I would really be interested to see how they do. Thomas Caceres slotting in that back row. He has second row eligibility in fantasy wise. I'm really watching Inciarte again because I have him. But also Felipe Echeverry back in that 10th position. Let's see how that impacts his fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, does he have fly half eligibility or is he just back three?
I believe he lost his fly half eligibility.
In that
But
case, I think it just makes it more interesting, right? We got Matthias Fryer coming back in the 15 position. He's only played like 3 games this year.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, and then on the LA side, I think we've got again still no 10. They got Taz Smith playing at 10. So now Saunders is likely doing the kicks for points. And we got James Stokes at 15 with a Jason Emery and Will Leonard combo in the centers. I think it'll be interesting. I think this is going to be a really good match, and I'm excited to see it.
We should see. All right, we're just about to get ready to kick off the second half here between the Free Jacks and the Jackals. 10-7 in favor of Dallas. Throwing up some of the stats here. New England dominating in the territory, pretty even on the possession. So we'll see how this next half plays out as they kick off here the last 40 minutes of play as Sam Tuifua receives the kick for the Dallas Jackals.
Yeah, and right off the bat, you see the New England Free Jacks causing a turnover, and getting a penalty right off the kickoff. Again, like some of the most important moments of the game, restarts after you score, restarts at the start and at the start of each half. And this is huge because the way that you finish the first half and the way that you start the second half are some of the most important 10 minutes, like 10 minutes on each side or 20 minutes of a game,
Mhm.
because it just builds on what that second half and what the rest of that game is going to look like. So if New England can put in a score here, I would be really interesting to see how that changes the way that they're able to play for the rest of this game.
So line out within the 5. Quatrin has it at the back of the mall that they're going for, and they're driving in, and it looks like they are going to score. Maddie alluded to it. Big time restarts are important. Dallas turns it over. New England takes advantage with the penalty kick for touch, sets them up for
Great for my
good
Ovalie
field
squad.
position. And yeah, Quatrin scores the try there, friend of the show. 12-10 now. New England in the lead as Potros will line up his
And
kick.
and that's the lineout that we're expecting, right? Like that's the lineout that we expect out of this New England Free Jack side. A dominant lineout where Quatrin is constantly taken advantage of. Uh it's it just hasn't happened this year. I don't understand why, but it just hasn't happened this year. I'm sure it has to do with injuries, having different guys coming in on the lineup. The lineout is, for a lack of better terms, a dance. Um, it's a choreographed dance where the team needs to all be in sync to make sure that everything's happening smoothly. As Potros misses the conversion, I don't know if you're a little behind, Ryan, but yeah, it's good to see New England Free Jack convert on a line out there. Abel won't be happy there, or the gain line won't be happy there, with New England now in the lead early in the second half.
12-10 now in favor of the Free Jacks as Dallas will now reset. Yeah, definitely just not the start that Dallas wanted here. They were happy going into the half with the lead and they quickly lose it and squander it away. And New England will now have it within their 22, and you can expect probably a boot to gain territory here. And that's indeed what they do as Holden Younger box kicks it right to Valentini.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty poor box kick. I think Cam Norley Calametti might have done better, but yeah, you gotta let your guys contest if you're gonna keep it in.
So we'll see how Dallas responds here. They have possession right now. It looks like what they need to do is just continue to build phases and just don't take any of these stupid errors. And it looks like they're setting up here. Balikana not able to get the hit done, but does support there.
Yeah, it's about to be
Game
kicked
off
anyways.
outside.
Yeah, look, I think Dallas can't get into this cycle here where they're getting pushed back by a strong New England. That has to go back, right? I thought he went outside of 22. Anyways, where they're getting pushed back by a New England line speed that we have seen so often this season, and Dallas has no other option but to kick because they've just got nothing going. The way that they've been able to do that, especially you saw that as they were leading up to their first try or their only try, is with a lot of quick recycling of the ball, and they gotta find a way to get back to that and build some phases. Oh, come on.
Just poor line out
And they
throw
gotta
by
just
Khalil
build some
Costa.
phases here. That was a tough one. I thought that was pretty close. I thought that was inside shoulder enough, but hey, it is what it is.
So another turnover by the Dallas Jackals off of a not straight call off of the lineout. See a replay here. Yeah, it was close. It was close, but not close enough. And New England will have a scrum just inside Dallas's half.
Oh, that's a Leroux Milan we like to see.
Just crashing it and just sucking in defenders, just open up that space. And Dallas has it once again.
And just another example of the way that Potros' kicking helps this New England Free Jacks team so much, and where you can just find yourself in such bad positions if you're not positioning that back three correctly. You see the way that he puts that grubber through, and instantly you see the kick chase, four guys up in a line. Ethan Fryer has enough time, enough space, enough ability to get the turnover there and draw the penalty. It's
I
just
mean,
we've seen that at least 3 times already in this game.
so kick for touch. They're up by 12. I actually agree with this call, Matt, despite what you were saying earlier. I mean, you just came off of a try where your lineout looked pretty successful. So why not try
Hey,
giving it a go once again?
yeah, I like it. I don't know if it's the same view, Ryan, but the stream is definitely stopped
That's
or
good.
frozen. So this is good, and this is really not a time where we needed to see this anyways. I don't really want to see what happens with
It's
this
back
line
up.
out.
We're good.
Well,
They show up. They've put up the graphic.
yeah, they put up the graphics just to tell us, hey, we got an issue here. They're trying to fix it. I'm pretty sure New England just scored.
Wayne Vanderbank.
Yep. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I have Wayne Vanderbank, Ryan, in my
There
free
you
to play.
go. There you go. So I can only assume it was a Wayne Vanderbank try. The Free Jacks are now
Well,
up
let me
19 to 10.
Yeah, let me just maybe guess before they show the replay of what happened. I'm gonna assume they brought it down from the line out, acting like they're gonna maul it, popped off the ground, pass it out, set piece play out the back to Potros, and Potros hit Vanderbank on a line. I'm gonna say that's what happened, and whenever we find out and can confirm that's true, then we can go with it.
All right. Well, big boy coming through.
They couldn't even play replay because they don't have the stream. I wonder if we'll ever find out.
We might
We're
not.
gonna, we're gonna have to ask one of the probably like John Payne or something like that because he's probably there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh wait, this is in Dallas. No, it's not. No, it's in New England.
No. John Payne of Jacks Rangers did say he was going to be in attendance in this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only got messed up because I did see glimpses of 3 different other lines other than rugby lines, so I got a little messed up there thinking that we were in Dallas, but
I
realized
I
that
think
this one
it
isn't nearly as bad.
it's very easy to get mixed up because Dallas, or not mixed up because Dallas plays at that stupid baseball stadium.
True.
And it just looks terrible. I think worst stadium in the league. All right. Well, Dallas has it within the 22. We'll see if they can respond here.
They got to score a try here. I think they need to respond with a try. Yeah, I think they need to respond with a try here.
And we really haven't seen any like real scoring threat as it's intercepted.
So
by
and Fryer,
Fryer.
what a read. So Fryer is I believe he played sevens. And he's a back rower. So that's how you can see that pace there. But what a game he has had today. I mean, you get the intercept try to cap it all off, but he's had 2 or 3 pivotal penalties that he's drawn out of this Dallas side. And we're seeing him just be lethal at the breakdown and also clearly on defense, just having the pace to finish that off and having the
So with the injury to set up
where that ball was coming.
So with the injury to Seta Baker, I guess a little bit of a preview to what's to come here on the Fantasy Rucker show that comes out Tuesday morning every single week. Is Fryer a pickup for you?
I mean, I don't know, right? Like we found out that penalties are not necessarily breakdown steals. They might be, they might not. I don't think they are based on what Jam Delay said. So yeah, he's obviously having an impact. I'd love to see what he has in terms of fantasy points outside of that intercept try after this game's done and once we get the points. because he's having a great game. It's just a matter of, is the game that he's having translating into fantasy the way that we hope it does?
I think at this point, watching this match, I mean, I picked up Sigren as a streamer in lieu of Seta Baker's injury, and I think
Naturally.
you would. Fryer looks
Yeah,
like
you would have
easily was the
you would
call,
have
but
wanted it. But yeah, I mean, I think Seagren is the natural choice to make to start. Like I think Seagren has to be the guy that you pick up. You don't know whether Fryer is going to have a 60-meter intercept try. Like you can't predict that.
right. So we got an
Oh,
injury down now.
yeah, he's going to get taken off anyways.
Quatrin
Oh,
getting his left arm tended to.
I think New England has I think that puts a nail in the coffin here. I just don't see the way that Dallas is playing. I don't see them coming back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, 2 quick tries there. That hurts. Peace out, the
Heck with
game
the game
line.
line. Thank you, the game line, wherever you are tuning in from, or you go to bed really early. But wherever you're tuning in from, kudos to you, man. Appreciate your support. Score still 10-7 Dallas. Steven, nope. Score is now 26-10. Ryan, you might want to upgrade that graphic from 19-10. But Steven, 26-10 for New England Free Jacks. Hate to say it, Steven, but it does not look good for this Dallas side. Every time they try to get something going, New England Free Jacks defense just seems to have an answer and find a way to turn over the ball.
And another turnover there. Penalty awarded to New England, and Potros once again kick for touch. I got to admit, Maddie, I'm sweating. Like, I mean, I really want to make the fantasy MLR playoffs, and I have no idea at this point whether that's going to be the case. And it'll be even worse because I'll be losing to rugby wrap-ups. Sorry, team.
Yeah, without even Dan Holland's head.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Word on the street, we might get a little Vandy action coming in here pretty soon.
We might. We just might. All right, so 26-10, under 30 to play in the first match of Sunday. New England, Dallas. Dallas looked like they could have maybe stayed in it going into the half, leading 10-7, but quickly that was turned out the gate. And now New England has a pretty big stranglehold of this league. And it does indeed look like we might have a Devin Vanderpool appearance. Let's bring this guy on the screen here. And there he is, Devin Vanderpool.
What's going on, boys?
Oh
How was
my
work?
goodness.
How was work, buddy?
It's brutal. Hey, if
Yeah,
any
we were
Door
saying-
World employees are listening, do a shift on the weekend. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, I was saying your work has to figure out, and they should know that the Fantasy Ruckers have a live stream going on today.
Yeah, you know what? I wish they cared.
Before
Boys.
trying to call you in.
Yeah,
I wish they cared. They don't care enough.
They don't care enough.
But,
They don't care about the little things.
Hey, Vandy, catching you up here. 10-7 Dallas going into the halftime. And
Come
New
on,
England has taken the
Dallas.
second half and is starting to run away with it. It is 26-10 New England Free Jacks now.
Wait, what?
Yeah. A lot of unanswered points.
Are we watching on your screen, Ryan, or are we just watching the game?
You can watch the game. I have it up on our Zoom, Vandy. If you want to have a look,
Oh,
but you
got it
can
on
throw
Zoom?
you can throw it up as well. But yeah,
throw it
it's
up.
been
Yeah.
it's been dominant here for New England here to start the second half.
Well, I got them on my parlay, but I was kind of hoping for a Dallas upset, man.
Well, that's the case too. Was that I put a parlay down for Anthem winning, Dallas winning, and
Ooh,
Los Angeles winning, and I put down just $1. It was going to win me $300.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
the
If I
loser
got
parlay.
that,
I made a loser parlay.
and it was quickly. I thought it started so quick where I was like, oh man, Anthem's up 12 nothing. This might actually be a thing, and both these games proving me wrong. So either way, we shall see.
We shall see.
But yeah, if you're just tuning in and joining us again, the Free Jacks winning 26-10 after the Dallas Jackals led 10-7. We are now blessed with the appearance of Devin Vandy Vanderpool, the Rucking Goat, on socials.
Right.
If you aren't following us at the Fantasy Ruckers, you can do that as well. Discord link down below in the description. Also got a pretty cool website got going as well, as the Dallas Jackals have a line out within their own within the 10-meter line of the Free Jacks, and they're mauling through, and it's a big time try by Sam Tuifua. Got him in the oval.
Big boy.
Got him in the Oval E lineup. See, I'm conflicted because I got Tuifu in my Oval E lineup, and I got Kotsa in my Fantasy MLR lineup. At this point, I'd rather make playoffs than be successful at Oval E. So I'm still sweating Vandy. I'm up by 20 points on Rugby Wrap Up, and he's got a lot of players to play. But either way, Dallas responding.
Awful,
Maddie, I think they're still in it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see with this conversion. I think this puts them 11 points. I just don't see it with the way that they're playing. Look, all of their tries that they've scored has been off New England penalties or like right after a New England penalty. So basically, they've been relying on New England in order to get opportunities. And yeah, I don't know if that's sustainable for an entire game.
We have
to
seen
come back and get a win.
We have
I've seen it before,
though. New England against San
For sure.
Diego, I believe. We're committing a lot late penalties. Surprisingly, we haven't had a card in this match where Martin Elias just drills one from the sideline.
Hey, Vandy, there's this guy.
Ryan, I'm not seeing on your screen, bud.
I would pull it. I would pull it up, Vandy. I'd pull it up, buddy.
Just on
mute yourself on Zoom.
Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you. I never yell at you.
Now, Vandy, there's a guy who's Liam Murray. He might have went off now, but Dallas Jackals. He's got a skullet. And
I like it.
I was just thinking how good you would look in one too.
Buddy, if I could even grow the hair at the back anymore.
Vandy's got the issue all over the place. Why don't you? There he is. There he is.
You see him right there, Vandy? You see him right there? Number one?
No, I don't see the game.
Pull it up, Vandy. Let's go. We need your reaction. We need your input. You're the expert now.
Yeah, well, I thought it was on Ryan's Zoom.
No, go on the Rugby Network.
Free to watch, by the way. Free to watch all the games, replays, highlights.
Oh, you're not telling me.
Rugby rundown. Yeah, I'm plugging the Rugby Network, so maybe they'll sponsor us or something.
I like it.
Maybe put our show on there.
And if you get a chance, check out MLR All Access on the Rugby Rundown and on FS2.
Well, no, that's just a self plug for Ryan.
I make weekly appearances. All right, so Dallas back on the attack here. Elias with a kick down the stretch goes right to Reese McDonald. Reese McDonald responds with a kick back, and Dallas showing some signs of life here. You know, like they're here and they're playing. They're in the New England Free Jacks territory.
Yeah, okay. You kept kind of walking back your statement. So yes, they are within the New England Free Jacks half. That's a good observation, Ryan.
I'm just the play-by-play guy. Here we go. Emhoff out. Dallas has it. Emhoff. Building phases here. Here we go. Richardson on the outside. A little bit of offload and dropped by Kubia. But is there going to be a penalty? Bring it back. There is. Oh, knock on. First knock on. Knock on in the tackle. So they're going back. And your favorite time of the game, Maddie. We're going to water break, I believe.
Water break. Let's go.
Freaking hate these stupid water
You know what?
breaks.
Or maybe
So
not.
look
No,
how
we
much
have
Reese
water, you know?
McDonald. Look how much Reese McDonald's shoulders padded up. Holy cow!
Yeah, well.
It's probably got to be
Because
the
you're
worst.
doing-
It's hurting.
That's got to be the worst injury to play with in rugby.
I mean, it's definitely
is a
not 100%
dislocated
healthy.
shoulder.
If he's got it all padded up, I don't think it was a dislike. I think it was
Could be
just a
collarbone.
strain.
Collarbone might be worse
Yeah,
than
true.
shoulder.
Yeah, that is true. Man, I hate this stupid ad.
All right, so let's
think-
recap the people in terms of everything fantasy MLR that we're doing. Okay, so let's start off with the fantasyruckers.com. Again, link down below. A great spot for you to check in on fantasy, play fantasy, and even I know some people out there use our site for stats, even with their oval lead lineups and everything. So on there, we've got a race going down. Fitzy of Rugby Morning has already locked on top spot. Maddie is playing to solidify that that quarterfinal bye with that 2 spot.
Pretty good.
Vandy, don't even need to talk about him. He's out of the playoff run.
Nope.
And then myself,
3 years in a row, baby.
I am fighting for a playoff spot. I can solidify that if I win today. I'm up by 20 points against a whole bunch of rugby wrap-up players that are playing today, and I am sweating. And I hate this feeling when it comes to fantasy sports because it's just sitting and waiting. Vandy, you'd like this. In a desperation play, I actually started Holden Youngert in my lineup, who got the start today. New England Free Jacks had a try unfairly called back from him in the first half. So tough one.
Yeah, you know what? You've been preaching him as a scrum half to pick up all year, and look at that.
This is
your
this
man
is the
or your
moment.
word.
He does have a try assist, so we'll see. But and then we also have an Ovalie a partnership going. Ovalie has challenged us to make a lineup and participate in their limited tournament and their free to play tournament. We got some players there. Vandy, you got any players in this matchup that are on your Ovalie lineup?
I don't think so.
All right.
I forgot half my line.
I don't think so.
Well, Dallas has the ball. We got Tidwell in now. Emoff out to Elias. Elias offloads it to Tuifua. And Dallas building up phases here.
Actually.
Okay, well,
and Wayne Vanderbank. Who am I talking about?
Wayne Vanderbank scored a big time
Vandy,
try.
get a grip. Yeah. Vanderbank did score a try. They did not show it on the broadcast because their potato of a camera cut out.
What were you saying with Coates?
He almost had a try, but then Tuifua decided to steal it from him off the maul, so he did not get one.
You know what? That's okay. That's okay.
Dallas building phases there, but then lo and behold, knock on, and they're still down by 9.
This has been their whole game. By the way, did you guys see the New England Free Jacks lineup?
So I did see that I don't know who drew. I guess they were kids, so I guess we got to take it light. But I honestly thought, because we post our starting lineups every week in our Discord channel to keep everyone posted, and I honestly thought that one of our Fantasy Ruckers community members put that together, and I'm like, oh, they just drew random stuff, and then I clicked on it closely. I'm like, oh, it was done by kids, and I feel bad now. But
isn't that a compliment to the kids? Isn't that a compliment to the kids?
Or it's either a compliment to the kids, or a shot to our community members on their art drawing skills.
This is silly. In what world does that ball hit the ground?
Skullet
that ball
right there?
should not. No, the skullet is awesome. But what's silly is the ball hitting the ground there. How is Potros able to find green on a first phase? That's silly. That shouldn't be happening.
Oh, my thing froze.
All right, so Wayne Vanderbank doing work. Holden Youngert's still in the game.
Oh, let's
go. What can I say? 60 minutes in.
Hey, you love to see it.
What's up, Unforgiven Potato, commissioner of one of our Fantasy Ruckers leagues?
I like that name. I love how he gets to work with it.
Oh, there we go. I just had to dumb down the quality to basically rice
Yeah,
greens.
well, I don't think they have 1080p in Tilsonburg yet.
Buddy, 1080p would be better than what I'm watching right now.
They only got 360p.
360p would be an upgrade. I got a hamster running on a wheel in the background just to get the internet going fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Quattrin, friend of the
What are you
show,
talking about here?
getting a look at here. Looks like he's a little bit injured.
I feel like him and Liam Murray smacked their head together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
'Cause
TMO.
Liam Murray was
TMO.
touching his bald head too.
Why do you
Vandy,
gotta
why are you
emphasize
trying
the
to-
bald head? Why
why-
can't he just have a head? Why is it not just his head? Like if he had
'Cause he's
hair,
got-
you would say his hairy head.
He's got
You wouldn't
no
say his
protection.
hairy head.
He's got no protection. He's got no protection up there.
That's
Oh,
true.
man, nah.
I agree with Matthew on this one. A couple subs now coming in. Jenkinson getting subbed out. Torres for the Jackals getting subbed out. Brayton back coming in for the Jackals. Recent signing for the Jackals. And we
I'm gonna say
have
hairy head
a
from here on out.
we have a scrum. You know, that's just inclusivity, Maddie. That's good.
Hey, that's what I do.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, Vandy, what is Liam Murray's skullet at for you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I don't identify as bald, Matt.
Then you're lying.
No, the skullet. All right. You know what? I got to give it at least an 8 out of 10. It could be better. He needs a lot longer hair in the back.
See, but I think he's
honestly,
in.
graded-
I think he's in your boat though, Vandy. I don't think he can grow
Yeah,
much
he's
more.
Capped out. He's capped out. But
You
that
can
doesn't
see the
change
patches.
criteria. All
You can
right.
see the patches.
All right.
All right. Mitch Wilson
We're
boots
not
it.
inclusion.
Richardson gets it. Or excuse me, not Richardson. Nick Ben.
Nick, man.
Dang right.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah, you
See,
tell him, Vandy.
Yo, if the refs yell and use it and you don't use it, what's the repercussions of that?
I believe it's 3 attempts. They can give you 3 warnings, and then Maddie, it's
Scrum.
penalty.
Is it a card?
Scrum down.
I believe it's a scrum. I believe they just do a scrum. It's like similar to when I believe when they have a maul and it's unplayable. I believe they deem it the same as essentially it is.
You're a mall.
Yeah, I am. I'm a maul. You're right. I'm a force of nature. I can't be stopped.
Debatable.
All right,
I wouldn't go that far.
It's a lot of words coming down from 10th place.
He's just catching up. I mean, he wasn't here for the first
7.
half of the stream. You know, just gotta come in. And it looks like, was that Emov coming off?
Yeah.
I did not see. Oh my gosh, Quattrin's mullet looks so good.
Oh, there we go. Look at the pack.
See, unstoppable
this
force,
from the Free
Andy.
Jack.
Can't be stopped.
Look at this. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Dallas got desperate
was
there.
big.
They had to do something.
Yeah.
To pull that down.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it legally.
All right, Mr. Potros, what do you got? Mr. Pot Roast.
Now that's a
Good
weird
pick.
sub.
Tui
Tui
Fua coming
Fua
off.
coming off.
Yeah.
That's such an odd sub. That's a
Keep
guy
off,
you want
yeah.
to keep on for 80. But we've seen this
Especially if
often.
You're
I
only
mean,
down 9.
yeah, that is true. Gallagher has been coming on very often with like 15 minutes to play. Dallas seems to like that breakup of halfbacks to keep the pace of play high.
Was that a halfback or was that a scrum?
Which one? I was
Who
talking
just
about
went
the
off? Was it-
substitution. Oh yeah, it was scrum half.
Yo, so you guys played scrum. Would you guys want to come in into in a game down 9 with 15 minutes left, or you guys want a little bit more time than that? Like, what's an adequate amount of time to have on the block there to pull a 9? Because they got to do a lot of ball handling.
If you're subbing on and coming off the bench, you will generally get unusual substitutions.
minutes?
I know some teams like to do 40-40 or like 50-30, but usually you get around 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That just is what it is. So You come on. I mean, I would much rather not come on to a losing game.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's a bit easier when you have the lead and you come on as a off the bench. But I think that's the same for every position, right?
Yeah. I just didn't know, like, the 9's got to make a lot of decision making kind of out of that
Reese.
breakdown. So
Reese.
Oh, Reese. He might. No.
Knock on.
Oh, knock on.
We're out of there. All right. Well, hey, 26-17, New England taking on Dallas with just over
He's laboring
13
that
minutes.
shoulder, man.
Yeah,
13
that
minutes to play.
shoulder's still hurt.
Yeah, he's laboring that. See him moving his hand as he was walking back there?
Well, he's hardly moving it. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Well, he
Falling
landed
right
right
back
on
on.
it too.
So again,
Come on,
26-17
Reese.
in favor of New England. 9 points.
Ooh.
And Dallas
Nice lineup. What is that?
wins it
Knock on?
back.
Oh, forward pass.
I think knock on. I think you had it there, the first one. Look at that. You're getting a nice full view of that skullet there, Vandy.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know what? That might be an 8.7. Because you know what? That is all effort. That's all effort. I'll give him that. That's an 8.7.
We got Coatsy here cramping up. He drank some of that pickle juice, if you saw it.
Did he really?
He's gonna
Seems
work
like
him
they-
out. Get in there, work him out. There they
Work
go.
him out.
They take long enough. Yeah, get that. Work him out. Get that leg cooking.
The leg cooking. What are you
You can
talking
talk.
about?
I'll come over there and
Vandy?
work you out.
Yeah, you should.
He's cramping. He's working out his leg. What? You ever play a sport before?
Vandy is just he's just trying to figure it out in terms of hoping Coatsy gets some points here for his lineup.
That's right.
I hate to break it to you, but I think this is it.
All right, so
I mean,
under 14 to play.
All right.
Who scored?
Nope, just no more points for Kotza. He just got taken off.
Well, that's fun.
Nope. Well,
He did get a try assist though, so it's okay. It's okay. He put in a good day's shift.
I love this Dallas Jackals coach's
Oh,
box. It's just a tent in the stands.
yeah. Looks like a sick tent though.
Like, don't you want to see something a little bit more dynamic off of their scrum? If you're gonna run with the backs, right? Like, don't you want to see something a little bit more dynamic than just your 12 just crashing it in like that?
I think when
like-
they're running it out of they're like 10 meters in their end. That's like the natural thing to do. You get it, but what you need to do on those is you need to win the ball back. You need to get the ball back. You cannot lose that ball at a breakdown. The fact that he lost at the breakdown is just like, what's the point? That's where you're like, why are you even doing it? The whole point of that is that you know exactly where the ball's going and you have all the support that you need to be there. And New England Free Jacks, again, showing that they're just a lot more dominant at the breakdown. Sorry, Vandy, I cut you off.
Nope. No, I was agreeing with you.
So instead of kicking for points there, they're gonna go for another. What we would
Well, you get to
probably
kill
predict
time
is
that way, too.
a maul attempt. And here they go.
Looks
We'll
like a
see
lineup.
who it is. Maul going in.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to point out that Holden Youngert is still on the field.
I just
Yeah,
want
that's
to point out,
actually
get that
pretty
outside to
interesting.
Wayne. Get that outside to Wayne. Ah,
I just wonder if Nordley Calameti maybe is nursing something. I mean, Youngert is having a pretty good game. So no point in taking him off.
So we're gonna have a scrum down here for Dallas. I believe it was held up in the mall. I believe the call.
And I believe Piers Von Dadslesen, I don't know how to say his name, has
Close
just come
enough.
on for Davidowitz?
Yes, get
Yeah.
Davidovitz out of there. I'm facing him for on rugby wrap up, so I don't want him. I don't want him on the field. He hasn't done anything.
Come on, boys. You got to support
I
the
mean,
scrum here.
It does feel like, though, guys, that New England should be up by far more than just 9 points. Like in essence, Dallas, if they stop this here and can get out of their zone, Dallas is still in it. They can win this game.
Well, we've seen them throw
Just
away a
surprised.
couple chances. Vandy, you miss them. I mean, they threw away some. Oh no, Connor Keys came out. But I think Davidowitz was already out anyways.
Oh, Holden.
See, and that's why he comes off the bench, because his second moment to shine in this match, he drops the ball as Holden Younger
To be
does.
fair, the first one
Yeah,
wasn't
he
his
could have
fault.
had that, man.
But Vandy, I mean, to catch you up, New England Free Jacks has had a lot of chances in the Dallas half. I mean, they had one that should have been a try. So yeah, Ryan, to your point, definitely, I think they could be up by 1 or 2 more tries.
All right, so Dallas Jackals scrum on their own 5.
What'd they call it? A knock?
Knock on by Younger.
Bind.
Here we go. And good scrummaging there by Dallas.
Yeah. Sound like New England wanted a knock on there.
I don't know
So-
what for.
So, Maddie, mindset right now. You're Dallas, to Vandy's point. You've just got subbed on for the Jackals here. You got less than 9 to play. How are you getting back in this game?
Well,
need a big
it
player,
sucks
like one of your wingers.
because yeah, I mean, you gotta keep the ball in hand, right? You
Yeah.
gotta keep the ball in hand. You really
I mean,
can't be playing territory at this point.
Yeah, since I've been watching at 60 minutes, it's just been territory. It's just been keeping them out of that. They have not even, I don't think, had possession over half.
And I think like that's just the way that I see it. I think at this point they have to keep the ball in hand. They have to try to move it.
And that's
they've
not
gotta
gonna
win
win.
lineouts.
That's not going to do it.
Holden's been moving the ball pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Dallas, they're not providing much of a fight. So look, here's the crappy thing about where Dallas is at right now.
Not a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, and they need to secure ball. They need to make sure that they have the ball. So they have to commit more guys to the breakdown than they've been doing, because New England Free Jacks have been dominating the breakdown, at least on defense.
Oh!
And oh my God.
Get going, Wayne.
Yeah, that's a good play by Ben. But I mean,
Oh, that's a weak call. That's a weak call.
That is
hey,
a weak call.
Maddie,
Wayne's
you
hurt.
know, Maddie,
Is
you
that
know,
Wayne?
you know, Maddie, that you
That's
just
not
get
a
your
good call.
hands. You get your hands just in that area and pretend. I mean,
No.
we're 9s. We've done this before. You get your hands
Yeah,
around the
but
area of the ball.
Look at that. 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 You can see his hands were
That's-
never on the ball.
Where I
His
think the
hands
call-
were on the
Yeah, that's
ground.
a bad call.
Well, where the call comes in, I think, is when he gets driven out and
Yeah, the support.
you try to
Yeah,
scoop
but-
it. We got taught that. We got taught that, Maddie.
Yeah, but that's no longer. The new rules are that if you start with your hands on the ground, you are not in a position to be able to steal the ball. That's a bad call there. I mean, look, Dallas gets a lifeline here to try and make something happen.
Oh,
All right, so Dallas has
we got to
it.
make something happen here.
That's not how you do it.
No, it's gonna be. Oh wow.
Getting released.
I thought that too, Vandy. Good take by Reese.
Yeah, great. Oh, oh, some heavy running here. Get a kick. Yep.
That's a nice boot, but that's straight out though, right? Close.
Straight out. Yep.
All right. Well, Dallas gets some well-needed territory here as we see who could be the player of the match. Wayne Vanderbank, Potros, Martin Elias. Probably have to go with Vanderbank.
Like Potros.
Potros has
I don't
been
know
pretty
why
good
Martin
too.
Elias is on there.
Because he made 3 kicks.
That's his job. Vanderbank. Vanderbank has had a match. I think we got answers to our question of who's going to be dominant in this match, Leroux Milan or Vanderbank, and we are seeing Vanderbank clearly have. Oh, that had to be.
Here we go.
What a play by New England. What a play by New England. What a play by New England.
Oh. Wow.
Hold it up in the maul or in the the tackle.
Yeah.
Let's talk about power subs. Ben Lesage coming out off the bench, one of the best defensive centers in the league, in my opinion. And he makes it happen in that play.
Oh. Knock?
Yeah, knock by Reese. Well, again, now under 5 to play. And New England has to do something quick here, or they will be losing this match.
Nope, Dallas.
Oh, look, Vandy, you guys see some highlights from the first half. Some Reese McDonald highlights, I guess.
Yeah.
He's so shifty. You know?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Like 5'7". Of course he's shifty. Oh, look, Younger's off. Sorry, Ryan.
No, I get the 70-minute bonus point though, so we're good. So I guess Cam Nordley Calameti is not hurt enough to not come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Younger just played a good game. Can't blame him.
So Dallas has got to keep it in hand now, right? Like they have no options anymore. And now you got a nice penalty.
Now they go for that defensive bonus point, the losing bonus point.
You got that penalty in your favor. Kick for touch. So you can imagine that if they get a penalty within the like close enough that you'd probably
see.
Oh,
does that ever epitomize the way that Dallas's game has been going?
Man, Potros, that's a nice play though.
That is a nice boot
to keep that in.
I think that's just silly. Elias has got to put that out. You don't need the extra 5 meters. Just put it out.
No, I know, but I'm saying the play by Potros to keep that in. That was pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
hell of a play.
I guess Elias is off that player of the match sheet. I don't know if they need to put somebody from Dallas, but.
So the graphic up there, Dallas has led the league in tries scored, 4.5, averaging 4.5 tries per match. They have only scored 2 in this one. So kudos to New England. But again, just haven't been able to string anything together so far as we are now under 2 to play. But I mean, New England's looks stout. I think for people who maybe were doubting them a little bit.
What are you doing here?
Like, why would you box kick this? Right?
What's the point?
Yeah.
Poor box kick
botch
too.
It like that. Like,
yeah.
They get the ball back, sweet, but like it didn't get them anywhere.
All right, you got some space here.
Ooh.
Tidwell.
High tackle.
Where's the support? Lucky. I think lucky to keep that one.
Lesage wouldn't have gotten that turnover. He was off his feet anyways.
I mean, the line speed by New England.
Yeah, I mean that I was gonna say, like, that's why they feel so. Oh, you got to move that. That's why they feel so compelled. Oh!
Wow! What a play!
Oh!
What a play!
Like That's why they feel so
Wow.
compelled to kick, Ryan, is
Wow.
because they're thinking that they have a better chance of creating opportunity without the ball in hand.
Yeah.
And that just speaks to how good the New England Free Jacks defense has been. And I mean,
they're right. That's
Dallas
huge too.
proved me
Because
wrong. Is that box kick actually turning into
That was the
something?
guaranteed.
you got
7, right?
you got a full guaranteed 7 exactly, and that's huge. I mean, you get the ball back.
That's
You got to just
huge.
now
Huge.
set up for a possible penalty kick. If you get one big play here, I mean, if Dallas steals this,
All right. Hey, Matt, Martin Elias, he kicks this in. Is he the man of the
Well,
match
it's an
now?
automatic 7.
No, but I mean, if they come down here and he kicks some like penalty conversion or something,
Yeah.
penalty kick, he man of the match.
No.
What if it's like a
Kubia.
boomer?
Kubia has played really well. I think
So-
Milanos. What is that? 2 tries on the game.
So we got ourselves a
So-
game. 26-24. Dallas now has the defensive bonus point.
Well, I don't know about that.
See how much
What-
bonus points or bonus minutes?
What,
What
do you
in
mean?
this-
We're
what in
within
this-
2 points. If Dallas,
Yeah,
if Dallas,
but what in this Dallas offense have you seen all game to tell me that they could go from there inside their 22 all the way
this
into
play
22?
right here that they're showing on the broadcast.
That was
They
nasty.
they get one of these plays, one of them.
They've gotten 2 of those plays in all 80 minutes.
Well,
They've got to get it without making any mistakes.
Let's see here. We're in the 80-minute mark.
I hope they prove me wrong.
Next stoppage ends the game. And there we
And
go.
there we go.
Knock
Oh,
off
knock on.
by the Dallas Jackals, and the game is going to be done. Reese is going to kick it out, and New England
Dang.
wins the match.
Dang.
26.
To say that I saw that
24.
coming, guys.
Yeah, no, you definitely did. You definitely did. Again, just hopeful speaking. But all right, and our second watch party of the year, the New England Free Jacks dominantly take care of the Dallas Jackals. The score may not reflect it, but I feel like New England left a lot of points on the board there. But they'll be happy to get away with the win. They get the bonus point win, puts them up on NOLA by a decent margin there for first place in the East. Dallas, though, getting the bonus point, which keeps them in the conversation, which is good. But I would say overall, Maddie, compared to our first watch party, this game was a little bit more eventful than our last one.
A lot better game. We got Vandy on here for 30% of the game, which helps because we love to have a little bit of Vandy action in this.
Thanks, buddy.
I think some things on some closing remarks on the game. Yeah, just a little bit, not too much. Over 50%, then I don't know if
then it just starts getting murky.
But yeah, I mean, I guess just to recap the game, Ryan, New England Free Jacks dominance, Dallas Jackals making a lot of mistakes. New England Free Jacks probably could have scored more and won by more. But I think New England Free Jacks deserve to get that win, and I don't think the scoreline necessarily reflects the game fully.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that perfectly. Again, I think New England, the score could have been much more lopsided than what it made out to be. Now, I guess the question then comes to you guys is whether or not this match, because I think we know that New England should be winning these ones, right? But the question then becomes, did this match at all instill any confidence in you? Because I know the confidence in this New England team and how they're going to perform in playoffs is wavering, because they haven't had the same dominant performances like they had in their championship winning side last season. I can't say that this is one that does that for me, because again, a lot of points left off the board. You get the win, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day, but they still need to string a lot of things together for them to even have a chance at competing with Houston, who are the odds-on favorites to be in that MLR final from the Western Conference and to potentially upset them for the Shield.
I argue it does. I think, look, a lot of good things came in this game. One, they got their line out going, right? We finally see them turning around their line out. I think they had around a 90% success rate or even higher in this game, which is good. Good to see. The other thing is that we look at that back row room and we talk about how much that back row room is kind of hurting, especially with the loss of Ian Conradi, and now with the loss of Seta Baker. You see guys stepping up, guys like Ethan Fryer, guys like Martin Segrin, who we expect to step up, but did have a good game. And I think that instills confidence for this team. And the back line is still the back line. All the guys are back. Reese McDonald looks like the same old Reese McDonald.
Yep.
He's probably going to end up having some pretty good fantasy results there with the meters gained. So, yeah, I think that was a confidence booster for me, in my opinion.
All right. Well, hey, Vandy, it was good for you to have the dedication to the show and get in here in time, despite them calling you into work. I'm gonna have to talk with your boss because we got to figure something out. Because I am your real boss, right? Like, this is your main job.
What I want you to do, what you got to do is call in and then just be like, that Devin Vanderpool guy, you got a hell of an employee, but stop calling him into work.
Yeah. Well, I know what it's like to work on weekends here. More of the nature of my business than it is your business. So I completely agree with you in terms of that. But
service, I work a lot of weekends.
Yeah. But hey, had a lot of fun here on our second watch party of the year. We could probably expect that we'll probably have another one, hopefully during playoffs. That would be cool. We can do that. And talk a little bit more about there. But hey, had a blast. If you joined us, thank you to all who commented, interacted with us. Again, at the Fantasy Ruckers, for you to follow us on socials up above there if you're watching on the YouTube video. Discord channel, link to join that is down below in the description. And hey, check out the fantasyruckers.com. Had really good work over there by our website guru, Alistair Kirschpool. Been a fun season. We'll see how this plays out for the playoff race. I'm still sweating because I don't know the stats of that game because no one really performed big for either of our sides, and it can always be those little points that add up that can make the difference. But nonetheless, we'll see. We'll see how this turns out after this Sunday. Matt, Vandy, any last words you want to say to the people before we close out the show?
Vandy?
I tried to get out of the basement for all you fans this year. Couldn't do it. I just want you to know I strung together 3 wins in the end. And if you hop on over to the website and look at the points against, it'll make sense.
Buddy, making excuses.
Not making excuses. Love the people. Thanks for joining. Dallas, good try. Parlay still alive. That's it.
I think I'm just going to start picking your picks for my picks.
You should.
And
we're gonna be up money this week, buddy. As long as LA wins. I
don't know about that. But tune in this week for another episode of the Fantasy Ruckers Show.
That's right.
I'll throw that plug in there.
Yeah, episode 111 coming up on Tuesday morning. Out every single week, around 6 a.m. On YouTube, around 5 a.m. if you listen on the pod. I really do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Our journey of making fantasy rugby a reality in the MLR has been a fun one. It's going to continue, and we're going to have a lot of fun here as we close out the 2024 fantasy MLR season with playoffs coming up just around the corner. All right, for Matt Yee, for Devin Vandy Vanderpool, we'll see you all on Tuesday. Until then, have a great rest of your day and enjoy the final match of Week 14.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Good day.
You've been listening to the Fantasy Ruckers Show, bringing fantasy rugby to the masses, covering everything rugby from the MLR and beyond. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review, and be sure to tell all your friends. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, connect with us on social media at the Fantasy Ruckers. Till next time, this is the Fantasy Ruckers Show, signing off.